You are welcome to the GMAETS41's live class on basic mathematics. In this class, I'll be teaching you the concept of word problem leading to simple equation. Word problem leading to simple equation. The network and other things have shown another version of me today, but all the same, is to have the class on. I can just see myself, on screen, and that is funny. All right, you're welcome once again to our class. Like you have on the board, word problem leading to simple equation. That's what we shall be dealing with in our class today. So you remember that we've been discussing simple equation, and of course this is part 6 of it, part 6 of simple equation. All right, in our previous class I already taught you combined operation in simple equation, when maybe a question is given to you and you're expected to apply the knowledge of collecting like terms, the knowledge of dividing both sides by the coefficient of the unknown, and of course, the knowledge of cross multiplication. I've already taught you that, and I gave you enough time to be able to study that so you can learn them properly. So we'll be looking at word problem leading to simple equation. I would like to state clearly that when dealing with word problem leading to simple equation, good knowledge of English language is important. Now the network is just network usually is not friendly, but we'll continue to manage the situation. So like I was saying, network sometimes is not usually friendly, but we'll continue to manage the situation. All right, so like I said, good knowledge of English language is important. You should be able to interpret the grammar, right? The sentence is given in the question. You should be able to interpret it into mathematical statements and then or mathematical expressions, and then solve the given equation that you are going to get. So I'm going to guide you gradually on how to be able to handle questions like this, okay, in mathematics. We have this very one on the board. Twice a number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6. Twice a number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6. If the result is the number, if the result is the number, find the number. Find the number. So how do we solve this question? It is a simple one. Like I said, it's just for you to understand the grammar used there. Understand it, then put them into mathematical expressions and then equation. The question here tells us that twice a number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6. First, we should know the idea of twice a number. Twice of something is 2 times that thing. But here we don't know the number, you are aware. So we are going to select an alphabet for the number. So I'm going to write, let the number be x. Let the number equals x. Let the number be x. So twice the number means 2 times the number. Twice the number means 2 times the number. So I'm going to take it gradually for you. Twice the number, what does it mean? It is equal to 2x. That is 2 times the number. That's the meaning of twice a number. Okay, now the question said that twice a number, that number is x, we said. So 2 times of it is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6. So this 2x is removed, is minus, is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6, which means we should know the product of 5 and 6 first. Then we will now we will now subtract this 2x from that product of 5 and 6. So I'm going to write product of 5 and 6 first. Product of 5 and 6 means 5 times 6. Means what? 5 times 6, which of course will give you 30. Is that okay? Which will give you 30. Now we are told that twice this number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6. So that will now mean 5 times 6 minus 2x. That is the meaning of twice a number, twice x, 2 times x, because x is the unknown number, is subtracted, is minus, is removed from the product of 5 and 6. Product of 5 and 6, then you minus 2x from it. That is the interpretation of that statement. Okay, now think we have explained up to this part. Want to take note of this. Take note of this. How will I take note of it? Okay, let me just draw a line like this. Then I'll put asterisk. Take note of it. Okay. Now the question continues. If the result is the number, if the result, what is the meaning of someone telling you the result of something? The result of something is what is the final thing that thing became. In mathematics, we use equal to for it. Twice a number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6 if the result, that result means equal to. Okay? If the result is the number, find that number. So this means that, therefore, we can say that 5 times 6 minus 2x is equal to. So let me write it. Since the result is the number, and that number is x. That is the unknown number. So this means 5 times 6 minus 2x is equal to x. We have interpreted this grammar here mathematically. This is the meaning of this statement here. So all we now have to do is to solve and get the value of x. Solve and get the value of x. And then to solve is very simple. We just use the knowledge of our simple equation here. The most important thing is your ability to be able to write the mathematical equation from the grammatical statement. Okay? So from here, this is going to give us 30 minus 2x equal to x. Collect like terms. If you collect like terms, you have 30 equal to, if you notice on the left-hand side, you have number, you have alphabet. Now, I want to move the alphabet to the right. I've always said that you move to the left so that the unknown will be on the left, and then you solve and get it. But it doesn't matter. You can move alphabet to the left and numbers to the right, or numbers to the right and alphabet to the left. The choice is yours. Now, since I have pure number on the left and I have alphabet on the right, I've decided, okay, let me move the alphabet from the left to the right. If that happens, you are going to get x plus 2x, because this 2x will cross to the right-hand side. Let me complete it here. 2x will cross to the right-hand side. This is going to give us 30 equal to x plus 2x is 3x. Then from here, you divide both sides by the coefficient of the unknown. The unknown is x. The quotient is 3. So I'm going to divide it by 3 and divide it by 3. If you divide it by 3, the 3 will cancel out, you'll be left with x. So that x will now be equal to, come to the left-hand side, 30 divided by 3. And this is going to give you what? 10. So the number is 10. Therefore, the number is 10. Therefore, the number, I'm sorry that I have to squeeze everything here, is 10. The number is 10. So from this question, we are told twice the number is subtracted So that number that you multiplied by 2 and then subtracted from, listen, dear friends, you know, as you're in basic level learning like this, there are important mathematical terms, words you should get used to. If I tell you that 20 is subtracted from 50, the way you write it is 50 minus 20. Take note, not 20 minus 50. 20 is subtracted from 50. It is written as 50 minus 20. So if I tell you that twice the number is subtracted from the product of 5 and 6, it means you are going to do product of 5 and 6 first, then minus twice that unknown number. Twice something is 2 times that something. So that is it, okay? And we've done it. Twice the number subtracted from product of 5 and 6. The result is that same number, you know. Finding the number, we got 10. And we can prove that we are very correct. If you come over to this equation here, anywhere you see x, fix 10. If I fix 10 here, this is 2 times 10, which will give me 20. And then 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 6 is 30. So you get 30 minus 20. 30 minus 20 will give you 10. And that 10 is what you have on the right-hand side. So the equation will balance. Okay, so we are done solving this first question. We are done with this first question. You can screenshot it. So we'll move on to question number 2. I will adjust the camera to the left-hand side, okay? That is to your left, right? Okay? To my right, but from you is to the left. Okay, let's look at question number 2. Sorry, so I adjust this. I've got to move the camera. Paul Toluwani, you are not completely late, so you're welcome to join the class. Question 2. So this is question 2. The difference between two numbers. The difference between two numbers when divided by 7. When divided by 7 resulted, or let me use is the same as, the difference between the two numbers is the same as the difference between the two numbers. If one of the numbers is 3, find the second number. Find the other number. So that is the question. So we're going to solve it. Let's see. The difference between two numbers when divided by 7 is the same as the difference between the two numbers. If one of the numbers is 3, find the other number. So how do we understand this question? It is a simple one. Just try to follow the grammar, the sentence. The interesting thing is, you know, we communicate regularly every day and we try to understand one another. So this is someone trying to talk to you. The difference between two numbers Difference in mathematics is subtraction. If you are thinking of the basic arithmetic sign to use for it. Difference means what? Subtraction. Is that okay? So if the difference between two numbers when divided by 7 is the same, that the same means equal to. Difference between the two numbers, if I said, okay, let the numbers be x and y. Let the numbers be x and y. But I want you to take note of something. Towards the end, close to the end of the question, we have that if one of the numbers is 3. So if the two numbers are x and y, one of them is 3. Let me assume that this x is 3. Let me assume that the x is what? 3. So the two numbers become 3 and y. The two numbers become 3 and what? Y. Okay, so going to the question, the difference between two numbers. Let me interpret that. Difference. Okay, let me say, let the number be. Let the numbers be 3 and y. Let me use y this time around. I could have said that the numbers should be x and y. But like I said, close to the end of the question, one of the number, the value has been given to us. We are told that one of the number is 3. So let the numbers be 3 and y. We don't know the second one. That's what we are looking for. The difference between 3 and y, let me say, let the difference between 3 and y be y minus 3. Difference is subtraction. So the difference between 3 and y, I have decided to write it as y minus 3. You could still decide to write it as 3 minus y. The reason I decided to write it y minus 3 is because I don't know what y is yet. It is possible that y is greater than 3 or less than 3, or y is still the same as 3 is possible. So because we don't know what y is, I decided to write it first, then subtract 3 from it. It is best to do it that way. Write the unknown first, then minus the one you know. The question said that the difference between two numbers, the numbers are 3 and y, so y minus 3, when divided by 7. So this whole thing is divided by 7. Okay, so the difference is divided by 7. That the difference is divided by 7. Well, let me even write. Dividing the difference by 7. Dividing y minus 3 by 7 is, this is the interpretation, y minus 3 over 7. That is the interpretation. So the difference between two numbers when divided by 7, look at it. Difference first and then over 7. The question said is the same as the difference between the two numbers. So this expression you are saying is the same as the difference between the two numbers. So since the difference between the two numbers is y minus 3, and you're telling me that y minus 3 over 7 is the same as the difference, it implies that okay, let me put a statement here. Since y minus 3 over 7 is the same as the difference is the same as y minus 3, because that's what the question said. It's the same as the difference. So the implication, or what it means is 7, y minus 3 over 7 will now be equal to y minus 3. Will be equal to y minus 3. So we have succeeded to interpret that statement. You see what I did here? I tried to break down the mathematics expression gradually so as to help you with this basic understanding. The next question we are going to pick, I'll be fast in solving it. I've tried to help you to see how you can break down grammatical statements, sentences, how you can change them to mathematics statement or mathematics equation or expression. I want to believe that you followed as I gradually, broke this statement down to form the mathematics equation. So now that I've gotten the equation, all I have to do is to solve. Now, if you look at this equation, you agree with me that the unknown, there is somewhere where the unknown is in fraction form. And you have only one fraction there. That is on the left-hand side. This is y minus 3 over 7. So here, the unknown, which is y, appears in fraction form. And because it appeared in fraction form, and that is the only fraction you have there and a single fraction, what you're expected to do is to cross multiply. I have taught you all of these before, when we started simple equation from the beginning. So here we are going to cross multiply. If we cross multiply, we would have y minus 3 to be equal to 7, brackets 7 minus 3. This 7 will cross to the right hand side and multiply 7 minus 3. That is why I put, is it 7 minus 3 or y minus 3? I'm sorry. To multiply y minus 3. This 7 will cross to this part to multiply y minus 3. That y minus 3 standing here is over 1, all over 1. So that over 1 will cross and multiply this y minus 3 here. Yeah. But you don't need to punish yourself in that. Y minus 3 over 7 equal to y minus 3. Just take this 7, cross it to multiply y minus 3 here. 1 times anything is that thing. That is why I just wrote y minus 3 down. This is how we obtain the equation here. We have to open this bracket now. I have taught you how to remove brackets. We had that in our last class under simple equation. So this becomes y minus 3 equal to, use this 7 to multiply what you have in the bracket. This 7 is positive 7 plus 7. Since that 7 is plus 7, positive 7, if you are using it to multiply what you have inside the bracket, the mathematical sign you have in the bracket, the plus, the minus, they will remain the same. They won't change. This is plus y. If this positive 7 multiplies plus y, it will remain plus 7y. So this is positive 7y. 7y. Then again, this 7 will multiply this 3. This is minus 3. So that minus will remain to be maintained because the sign of this 7 outside you are using to open the bracket, the sign is plus. So all the signs inside the bracket will remain the same. 7 times 3 will give you 21. 7 times 3 will give you 21. From here, you now see that the unknown, between the unknown and something else, you have either plus or minus. Here we have minus. So we have to collect like terms. We have to collect like terms. I had taught you under collection of like terms that if you are looking for something an unknown in mathematics, and between the unknown and something else, you have either plus or minus. What you do there is to collect like terms. So at this point, I will collect like terms. Now, I would like to move all alphabet to the left and all pure numbers to the right. But take note, you can still decide to move all alphabets to the right and all pure numbers to the left, just like I did in question number 1. It does not matter. You can move anyone to the other side of the equation. All we are doing is to collect like terms. Take alphabets to one side and take pure numbers to the other side. Okay, now this time, let me move all alphabets to the left. There is something I would like to show you. I will complete it here. So, moving all alphabet to the left and all pure numbers to the right. On the left, the alphabet we have there is y. On the right, we have 7y, which is plus 7y. Move it to the left-hand side. If plus 7y crosses to the left, it becomes minus 7y. I've written all the alphabet on the left. So now write the pure numbers on the right. I'll put equal to first. Now what we have as pure number on the right-hand side is minus 21. So I will write minus 21 on the right-hand side. That is what we have on the right-hand side already as pure number. Coming to the left-hand side, we have a pure number minus 3 there. I will move that minus 3 to the right hand side. If minus 3 crosses equal to the right hand side to meet that minus 21, that minus 3 will change to plus 3. So we can now simplify. Y minus 7y will give you minus 6y. This is 1y minus 7y. You have only 1y. You are owing somebody 7y. If you pay the person the 1y you have, you are still owing that person 6y's. Just like you have 1 sweet and you are owing your friend 7 sweets. Your friend will ask you, give me the 1 sweet. And then remember, you are still owing me 6. Because you are owing, in mathematics, you put minus. So like I said, this is going to be minus 6y if you do y minus 7y. And that will be equal to minus 21 plus 3. Minus 21 plus 3 means you are owing somebody 21 and you have 3. I have explained all of these, mathematical signs. We call it directed numbers, this thing. So on this channel, you go to the playlist for basic maths. You can take the lessons on directed numbers where I explained all these things. So that we can go straight on. Minus 21 plus 3 is minus 18. So you can think about it. You are owing somebody 21. You have 3. You will pay the person 3 and you will still be owing 18. Because you are owing, we'll put minus. So this is minus 18. At this point, the unknown has a coefficient now. And the coefficient is minus 6. If you are looking for an unknown and it has a coefficient, what you do is to divide both sides by the coefficient of the unknown. By what is multiplying the unknown. Here, minus 6 is multiplying the unknown. So I am going to divide there by minus 6 and divide there by minus 6. If you come to the left-hand side and divide minus 6y over minus 6, the minus 6 will divide each other. They will go off. You'll be left with y. Y will now be equal to the right-hand side. You have minus 18. Divide it by minus 6. Good. You have minus 18 divided by minus 6. You'll agree with me that the minus will cancel. When the minus cancel, you will now be left with this minus will cancel this minus. Minus divided by minus changes to positive, to plus. So they'll just go off. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Therefore, y is equal to 3. We can now conclude. We are asked to find the other number. I will squeeze it here, please permit me. I'll squeeze it here. The other number is 3. The other number is 3. Is 3. Good. So from the question, the difference between two numbers when divided by 7 is the same as the difference between the two numbers. This is the interpretation. Difference between two numbers when divided by 7 is the same, is equal to the difference between the two numbers. Here, close to the end of the question, one of the two unknown numbers, one of them was revealed to us. We are told that one of the number is 3. That is why we have y minus 3. So with this, we solved, and then we find out that the second number is still the same as 3. And that is the answer. All right, we are done with this question. We shall now take our last question. We shall take our last question. Now that I have already taught you the basics, the concept of word problem leading to a simple equation, I can just pick any question anytime, in our fun class and then solve for you. You see, equation is very important in mathematics, in science, and in real life. That is why this is a topic you don't joke with. Please make sure you take each of the parts of simple equation. There are 6 parts. This is the 6th part, right? Yes. This is part 6 of simple equation. Make sure you follow them step by step, starting from the beginning of simple equation till the end of it, which is going to be in this class. Like I said, any other question I'll be solving in simple equation. After this last question, I'm going to solve question number 3. I want to believe that you can follow up and understand, what I do there. Okay, so I will adjust the camera so that we can solve the third and last question. So we can solve the third and last question. So you can see our first question. I'll wipe it. Then we'll take our last question. All right. All right, question number 3. So we have this. Let me write it. A man is 30 years older than his son. A man is 30 years older than his son. In 5 years, in 5 years' time, the man's age will be twice his son's age. The man's age will be twice his son's. How old is A, the son, B, the man? That's the father. The father is the same as the man. So this is the question that we have. Very interesting question. Let us see how we solve this problem, okay? This particular question, here in Nigeria, basic education, I think basic education certificate examination, that exam body likes asking this question. Yeah, for those that are taking junior WAEC BESE exam, common entrance exam, yes. The examiners, they also like asking our basic scholars this type of question. So let us see how you solve this problem. Like I said, it's simple. A man is 30 years older than his son. Interesting. So we know that the man is 30 years older than his son. How can we interpret that grammar, that English sentence? We just simply have to assume, okay, if the child, or let's say the son is 5 years now, or the son is 10 years, then the father will be 30 years ahead. 30 years ahead will mean that the father will be 40 years. If the son is 10 years, the father will be 40 years, because the father is always 30 years older. So this is what we do. A man is 30 years older than his son. We don't know the son's age. We don't know the son's age. So I will start by saying, let the son's age be, you can use any alphabet you want. If you like, you use X. Now let me use A this time around. Let it be A. You can use X, you can use Y, you can use anything, any alphabet you want. So let it be A. Let it be A. That's the son's age. Now the question said that the father is 30 years older. The network, please. Network, could you calm down? The network is stressing me here. I'll have to boost it. Let me see. So the network is hanging and is disturbing me. Just hang and free, hang and free. Okay, I think it's a bit freer now. Okay, let's continue. So we're told that the father is 30 years older. If the father is 30 years older, it means that the father's age will be 30 plus the son's. The son is A years here. Let the son's age be A. It means that the father is 30 years older, means the father being 30 years older. Being 30 years older. And sorry that I'm using a kind of grammar. I don't know if it is high sounding grammar. Anyway, I'm sorry. The father being 30 years older means or is 30 plus A. That is the meaning of that statement. If the son's age is A and the father is 30 years older, it means whatever the son's age is, to get the father's age, you add 30 to it. So we are taking A to be the son's age. The father's age will now be 30 plus A years. We have interpreted this first part of the question. The next part of the question said, in 5 years' time. So if you start counting, let's say from now, you count 5 years' time. Let me ask you, my dear friends, if you are 15 years now, okay, if you are, let's say, 8 years now, if you are 8 years now, and I said, in 5 years' time, what does it mean? If I'm 8 years now, and I'm talking of 5 years' time, what you have to do is to add 5 to that 8 years. Is to add 5 to that 8 years, which will give you 13 years. So look at, the son's age, say now, is A. The father's age is 30 plus A. In 5 years' time, each of them will increase by 5. So we're going to do plus 5 years to each of their age. So I'm going to write in 5 years' time. In 5 years' time, comma. Now, look at what son's age will be. Son's age in 5 years' time will be equal to A plus 5. A plus 5. Good. What about father's age? Father's age in that 5 years' time, father's age will be equal to, remember that the father's age was 30 plus A. Then in 5 years' time, it is going to be 30 plus A plus 5, because you are going to add that 5 to the age of the father now. So in the next 5 years, whatever the father's age is now, which in this case is 30 plus A, we are going to add 5 years to it. And if you solve this, you are going to get 30 plus 5. You can add them. You can add them. And if you add them, you get 35. 35 plus A. 30 and 5, they are like terms. And you see, so you can group them together. 30 plus 5, you get 35. Then plus A. Are you following? Please take note. 30 plus 5 will give you 35. Then plus A. And you know that 35 and A, they are not like terms. So you leave it like that. 35 plus A. So this is what happens in 5 years' time. So in 5 years' time, the father's age will be 35 plus A. But take note, come back to this question. In 5 years' time, the man's age will be twice his son's age. So what we try to do is get the age of the son in 5 years. Get the father's age in 5 years. And the examiner, in the question here, you are told that in that 5 years' time, when the father is 35 plus A and the son is A plus 5, in that 5 years' time, this age, 35 plus A, will be twice his son's age. So how do you interpret it? In 5 years' time, the son is A plus 5. In that 5 years' time, the father is 35 plus A. And the question said that in that 5 years' time, the father's age will be twice the son's age. I told you in question 1, Twice of something is 2 times that thing. So we interpret it as, so let me write, since the father will be twice, since father will be, okay, that is father's age. Father's age will be twice. So let me write this with another shade of marker. Will be twice son's age. Twice son's age in 5 years' time. In 5 years' time. This means we now want to write it in mathematics. We want to form the equation now. 35 plus A, which is the age of the father in 5 years' time. 35 plus A will now be equal to, because in that 5 years' time, we are told that the father's age will now become twice. That is 2 times the son's age. So twice is 2, open brackets. That bracket is times the son's age in 5 years. And the son's age in 5 years' time is A plus 5. Is A plus 5. This is good. We have been able to interpret this question. I could have solved these since, but you know, here, for our basic scholars, what GMAETS41 does is try to build the foundation first. You know, it is not been long we started these classes for basic scholars. So gradually, so that you can understand this whole thing, and then time will soon come when I will be fast in solving questions. For example, what I have taught you under simple equation, and I told you that simple equation is one of the most important equations in mathematics, in sciences, and in real life. Yes. If I pick any question anytime, maybe I want to have fun time with a particular math problem, okay, I'll be very fast. I'm not going to be writing all this grammar. Just go straight ahead to what you should do. I had to break this thing down for you so that you can be able to interpret grammatical expression, grammatical statement. You can be able to interpret it into mathematical expressions and equations. So look at it. In 5 years' time, father's age will be twice son's age. In 5 years' time, father's age is 35 plus A. In 5 years' time, son's age will be A plus 5. But the father's age will be twice the son's age. So this is the equation we are going to solve. If we solve it, we'll get the value of A. And that A is the son's age. So take a look at it. I will adjust the camera to the left side. And so I'll be wiping the left side of the board so that we can solve this equation. 35 plus A equal to 2 brackets A plus 5. Of course, you know that you have to open this bracket. You have to open that bracket. Okay, so I will wipe the left-hand side. While I am wiping that left-hand side, still be looking at this and try to understand the interpretation. Let me wipe this left-hand side where we solved question 2 initially. So you see that simple equation is an interesting part of your studies, you know, generally, and when you are dealing with mathematics. It's very interesting. Just understand the grammar, follow it gradually, interpret, and then solve the final equation you will get. Okay, so I am going to adjust the camera now because I have wiped the left-hand side. So let's see. Good. Remember, from the right-hand side, we got 35 plus A equal to 2 bracket A plus 5. At the end of this live class, a copy of this video lesson will be made available for you. So you can come back later and still take the lesson again, where you can pause me, you can control me, okay, to be able to understand. You can take me back to understand maybe something I have said, okay? So make sure you come back, and then you can still copy your note then, because you can pause me. This is a live class, so you cannot control me anyhow yet for now, except if you have a question and you can ask your question, I will respond. Okay, so let us move on. Good. No questions so far yet. So I want to believe you friends understand what I am solving so far. So let us open the brackets. The right hand side will still remain 35 plus a equal to, then we open this bracket, 2 times a, we give you 2a. Then 2 times 5, you have to bring down this plus, because the number opening this bracket is a positive number. All the signs in the bracket will remain the same, they will not change. Remember from our last class I explained, if the sign outside the bracket, opening the bracket is minus, all the signs you have inside the bracket, they will change to the opposite signs. Plus in the bracket will change to minus, minus in the bracket will change to plus. If the number opening up the bracket is a negative number, is minus number. Here it is a positive number, so all the signs in the bracket will remain the same. I've brought down this plus, then 2 times 5. 2 times 5 will give us 10. At this point, you agree with me that we have to collect like terms, because the unknown, what we are looking for, which is a, you will agree with me that between where you are seeing a, you have plus between it and something else. 35 plus a, so you have to separate them. 2a plus 10, you have to separate them because they are not like terms. Okay, so at this point, I would like to move. Should I move alphabets to the right and numbers to the left? You see, I'm doing this now for you, my friends, because whenever you are solving this at school, you can decide whether to move the alphabet to the left and then the pure numbers to the right, or whether to move the alphabet to the right and the pure numbers to the left. It is your choice. That's why I'm doing them, sometimes I move to the left, alphabet to the left, sometimes I move alphabet to the right, sometimes I move numbers to the left, sometimes I move numbers to the right. So you can do any one. Let us now move alphabet to the left, to the right rather, that's what I want to do. So if I'm moving it, this A will go to meet 2A on the right hand side. But then what will I have on the left? On the left here, I have this pure number 35. So I will write down 35, which is already on the left-hand side. Remember, I want to move numbers to the left and then alphabets to the right. So this 35 is already on the left as a pure number. I will now come to the right-hand side and remove this plus 10. Take it to the left. If plus 10 is crossing equal to sign, equality sign to the left-hand side, that plus 10 will change to minus 10. Good. I have collected all pure numbers as like terms to the left-hand side. Before I write the alphabet on the right, I am going to put down my plus. Put down my equal to rather. This is the equal to. I want to write the alphabet on the left now. Before I talk of writing anything on the left, remember the alphabet you have on the. Before I talk of writing, anything, moving anything to the right, remember that you have an alphabet on the right hand side already, which is 2A. So you have to write that 2A first, because the 2A is the honor of that right hand side as the alphabet. Now we are moving plus A to meet that 2A on the right hand side. If plus A crosses equality sign to meet this 2A, it will change to minus A. This is good. This is good. At this point, all we now have to do is to simplify, right? I hope there was no mistake made here. I hope there was no mistake made there. Good. Everything we solved here, they are very correct. So you want to make sure, when you are solving mathematics problem, you try to speed while still maintaining high level of accuracy. You must make sure you are accurate. So as you are working, make sure you're checking that there is no mistake. 35 minus 10 will give us 25. So you write 25 under. On the right hand side, you get 25. Before moving, on the left hand side, you have 25, which is 35 minus 10, 25. Put your equal to before you write, what you have on the right hand side. On the right hand side, you have 2A minus 1A. This is 1A. 2A minus 1A, you have only A. Just like if you have 2 sweets and you remove 1 sweet from it, you'll be left with 1 sweet. So do you see, we have obtained that A is equal to 25. Therefore, A equal to 25. And you know from the beginning of the question that A is the son's age. A is the son's age. The A part of the question says we should calculate, find the son's age. So I will write the son's age equals 25 years. 25 years. This is the son's age, because we already said that the age of the son should be A from the right hand side of the board. I'm sorry you are not seeing that right hand side now. Then the B part of the question, the father's age. The father's age. The father's age. Remember that the question told us that the father is 30 years older than the son. The father is 30 years older than the son. That's what the question said. So we'd come here and then do 30 plus 25. Remember when we wrote 30 plus A when we are solving on the right hand side? 30 plus 25 will give us 55 years. So the father is 55 years. And you see, if you do 55 minus 25, you will find out that the difference is 30, which shows that the father is actually 30 years older. 55 minus 25. 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 minus 2 is 30. So you can see the difference, the gap in age that the father gave to the son. So the son is 25 years and the father is 55 years. Think of that other part of the question that said, in 5 years' time, we have finished solving. We have gotten our answers. We have gotten our answers. But I just want to say something. Think of that part of the question that said, in 5 years' time, the father's age will be twice the son's age. Let me adjust the camera so you can see that statement. In 5 years' time. Take a look. Good. You see that part that said, in 5 years' time, the man's age will be twice his son's age. That is, the man's age will be 2 times the son's age in 5 years' time. Remember, we have calculated already that the son's age is 25 and the father's age is 55 years. Now, if you go 5 years ahead now, what will be the son's age? What will be the son's age in 5 years' time? In 5 years' time, look at it. The son's age will be A plus 5. That A plus 5 is 25 plus 5, which is 30. Because we got the son's age to be 25. So if you add 5 years to it, you get 30. The son's age will be 30 in 5 years' time. And the father's age will be, in 5 years' time, to be 35 plus A. 35 plus A. What is our A? A is 25. 35 plus 25 will give you 60. So do you see, in 5 years' time, son will be 30 years, which is 25 plus 5. And then father will be 35 plus A, and A is 25, which will give you 60 years. The father will be 60 years in 5 years' time. Now look at it now. In 5 years' time, son is 30, father is 60. Can you see that the father's age is actually 2 times the son's age in 5 years' time? Because 2 times 30 will give you 60. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. So I hope you understand this question. Like I said, at the end, let me wipe this because it's not part of, they didn't ask us to solve for that. I just used it to explain. So you see clearly, right, that this question is cool, and we've been able to solve it. And I hope you enjoyed the way I broke it down. Please take a look, the first part of the question that I solved on the right-hand side, and then the concluding part on the left-hand side. We are done with our class today, and I hope you learned something wonderful. I'll be dropping some assignments for you, yes, through GMAETS41 basic class short, YouTube short. I'll be dropping some assignments for you to solve on simple equation. Please do me good and do yourself better. Don't joke with this topic. See this topic called simple equation, don't joke with it, please. As much as you can, from the beginning, take all the lessons on simple equations, starting from when I define what is simple equation and the concept, the idea of like terms. Then before we moved on into collecting like terms, equations involving collecting like terms, equation involving dividing both sides by coefficient of the unknown, equations involving cross multiplication. We now moved on to combined operation or combined basic principle of simple equation. Then today, concluding with word problem leading to simple equation. Let me face this side of the board that I solved for the last, the last thing, so that's good. Good. So please, all these things that we have covered so far in simple equation, make sure you study them again and again. Yes. Because everything, let me say 90% of the things in maths, whether at this basic level, at senior secondary school class level, in university, that is at advanced level, university level, knowledge of simple equation is very important. I am saying this now so that starting from this, your basic level, primary 4, primary 5, or grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, you learn this simple equation very well, so that when you go to senior class and then to university, you will not have problems with playing with mathematics problems and, of course, science questions. You will enjoy solving them. Thank you for connecting to the class. Okay. Mike MCG, in 5 years, wouldn't father be 35 years old? In 5 years, wouldn't father be 35 years old? In 5 years, father, look at it. In 5 years, the father will not be 35 years. Remember that ordinarily in 5 years, look at how we presented it. Father will be 30 plus A plus 5 years. Because originally the age of the father is 30 plus the son's age. That's what the question said from beginning. Are you following, right? That is why you still have to come back, like I said, at the end of this live class, a copy of this video lesson will be made available. So if there's anything confusing you, you can still take it again, pause the video, think about what I said. The father's age is 30 above the son's age. That is the condition for the question. So in 5 years' time, the father's age will be 30 plus the son's age, since the father is 30 years older than the son, then plus that extra 5 years in that 5 years' time. So that is the explanation. I love you, dear friends. Those of you, at basic level of learning now, this channel is super dedicated to you, friends. Share the link to this channel to your friends, to your neighbors, those in basic level of learning, and those of you in higher class. You can still learn from this channel, where you can get this knowledge to help other people. Are you a teacher at basic level of learning, or even in senior class? This channel can also contribute to how effectively you teach these younger ones, because they are very important to us. They are very important to us. By the time they get to that higher level, they will not be having some kind of challenges that some persons are experiencing today at that higher level. Do have a wonderful night rest, and I hope to see you on Saturday in our next live math class. But before then, like I said, I'll be releasing some short videos on simple equation, different aspects of simple equations we have touched so far, especially focusing on what problem leading to simple equation. Make sure you stay tuned. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to it, then do something very important. Turn on the notification bell. You will see one bell icon after you subscribe. Press it. If you press it, you will see all personalized. That personalized will be ticked for you. Click on all. The reason is so that you will not miss out anything that I post, or any time that I upload any video or come live. If you turn on the notification bell and select all, Anytime I have class or I come on live or I post anything, YouTube will send you a message, notify you that something is available so that you can come and check if it is something you need. Of course, you will definitely need it, you know. Take good care of yourself. I hope to see you in our next class. Bye-bye.